Clouds on Mars Products, a place where you begin your journey with innovative, visionary, and easy to implement solutions for your business. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. This is Clouds on Mars Products. In this series, we talk about challenges that have been put in front of us by our customers, some thoughts that we have from various discussions with our partners, with our customers. My name is Marcin Kubica. I'm head of product, and today I'm joined by Ola Gepert. Ola, good to see you and good to have you here.
Hello.
Today we will talk about challenges that are faced by project managers. Our observation is that project managers, they do a lot of admin work that is unnecessary or can be reduced or automated, can be in a smart way eliminated from their daily tasks. But Ola, you have a way stronger opinion on that. Can we start with that? What do you think about the work of project managers?
First of all, I've been working as a project manager for 14 years now, and I didn't start in IT. I started in manufacturing. So I think that in our IT world, let's say, the project manager role is still perceived as a secretary or like a person that it's not good enough to become a product manager or business analyst. But of course, I disagree with that. I think also that project managers kind of did it to themselves. So we allowed teams to think that our only task is to make their life easier. And they started to treat us as secretaries.
Perhaps a twisted way of understanding servant leadership, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I know so many project managers, like amazing project managers. I've been building teams for more than 8 years now. And these are great people. They have so many skills, like social skills, soft skills, hard skills, because every person is like interested in a little bit in something else. So they can give it to the teams and make them greater. This is our main task, actually, to make our teams great. We are still there in the shadows as project managers, as real servant leaders, and we let our teams shine, be our customer. And like for our customers, they are always on the spot. Yeah. So we just help them, and this shouldn't be visible. This is what I always said to my project managers, like, guys, if you are the first person in the room, probably it means that you are not doing your work right.
Very interesting perspective. So, Ola, can we turn into those admin tasks that indeed are done by a lot of project managers? And, well, let's be honest, it's also part of their job, but we can do something about it.
Yeah, sure. It's a very big part of our job, actually, because just one comment to what I said before, all project managers that I know are very tidy people. They like to have notes. They need to have notes. Without it, we can't even like really work. I myself, I use Excel even for doing everything at home. It's like my part, yeah? And all the people that were great managers that I knew had the same feature, that they liked order. And amount of administrative work is huge because, you know, depending, of course, on in which organization you are working in, most probably you will never have a one project as a project manager. You always will have something else. So you need to keep your mind into different baskets during the day, and it's pretty challenging. Yeah, this is something that software engineers are always saying that it's impossible because switching the context is like a disease and you will die if you will do it. But this is our job. We do it every day. So these are notes, updates in other systems that we have, because every organization has a system for managing free days, for putting the hours to the system, for managing the budget, managing the scope, managing the time, stuff like this. Yeah. So it's a huge amount of work. And sometimes I could see it in big organizations, in small organizations, that people are drawing in those administrative tasks. I mean, project managers, of course, here, and they are always behind. It's super hard to even focus on some creative work because what you are facing every day is like writing notes from, let's say, 8 meetings you had during the day. You can't just dismiss your meetings being a project manager and focus on work. This position wasn't designed for it. I've been seeing this trend in the industry for so many years now. Like, if we would not have managers and meetings, we would actually do our job. Would this job have the right direction? Would you be getting any feedback? Of course, I'm not saying about this, middle management and white collars. I'm talking about project managers that are actually delivering in rapid environment. This is IT context, and this is what I'm referring to all the time during this discussion.
Sure. So Ola, let me summarize so far. So you are saying that project managers, they have a lot on their shoulders. There is administrative work that is part of their job. It's part of the design, we may say. So meetings are also part of their job. I think it's impossible to remove those elements from their job. The question is, what can we do to reduce this work or reduce this burden that they have on their shoulders? And there is a certain idea that you had in mind. Can you describe this idea?
Sure. So what we've been thinking is like an AI assistant. It's not really a new idea, right?
Everyone uses some kind of AI assistant.
For project managers specifically, that would be an AI tool that makes it possible for you to have 60-70% of the administrative work done for you. So when you are entering the meeting, of course, we have transcripts, but we need to have meeting notes ready to send. AI assistant would be doing for project managers.
Since you mentioned this term AI assistant, the natural question is, okay, why I cannot use, for example, Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT or Claude? Why those tools are not enough from your perspective or from the perspective of the concept that you have?
These are not enough because they are too broad. The AI assistant for project managers will be plugged in to their environments. We need to make sure that it's super secure. Like this AI assistant would be having the same permissions that the project manager has, and he needs to shadow him or her during their work. So, of course, the models that we will use underneath might be from Claude, might be from OpenAI. Project managers are already doing this. Like we are using those solutions. Yeah. When we have a transcript and you are putting it into Copilot and he is giving you back some results, but it's not happening instantly. It means that after the meeting, you need to download this transcript, use the prompt that you have learned already, because I can tell you that doing simple notes, it's not so easy for any AI solution at the moment because they don't have our context. They are just having some text and redoing it. So for AI assistant here, he would learn your context as well. He would be really your assistant, which of course will take some time, but it's natural for those solutions at the moment, yeah?
So it looks that you are saying that you can do a lot of whatever we'll be showing today with Claude, Copilot, GPT, and so on. The problem is that you still need to do a lot of manual work when you use those general tools. We are talking about an environment that is fully integrated and is tailored for the work of project manager, right? So it has certain features, certain elements that eliminate even this manual work that project managers would have to do using those generic tools.
The idea was that the project manager has multiple meetings, back-to-back meetings, yeah? This is the first pain that we wanted to address, but we have vision and idea to move further. And not only us, I think that majority of the organizations right now are thinking how we supposed to work with AI and so many different file types that we use. Here you can see a web app that would be like a dashboard for project manager to enter every day, because project manager has, like I said before, multiple systems he needs to comply with. Every project has a different Jira or any other task, their own documentation, and the AI engine is filtering everything by the type of project that you have. So this is the current project. Of course, typical project manager would be having more here. So we have 4 parts at the moment. So calendar and meetings, how many meetings you have, which meetings, and you can actually ask the assistant to give you like a very short information. What's the meeting about? Are you really prepared? These are the action items from the recent meeting because it's a series. Project documentation, a shortcut. You don't need to dive into the SharePoint separately and try to find something. Of course, somebody will say, hey, why you don't use bookmarks? It's not the same, guys, really. Right now, with this rapid work that we do with AI, it's impossible to like even sometimes have time to switch between the tabs. Emails and the link to the Jira, let's say, yeah, or whatever other tool you use.
So Ola, you are basically showing at least 4 integrations, right? You showed at the beginning the integration with your calendar, then integration with SharePoint or whatever storage tool for documentation, then integration with your emails, and also integration with your task management tool. And I understand that it must be a clever integration. So this tool is able to recognize meetings, emails, documents, and tasks related with a specific project, right? So when we switch to another project, we will see different elements. Am I right?
Yes, plus those elements, those 4 will be basic for every project you have, yeah? You might have another integration later on, but these are the basics that we thought at the beginning would be the most usable, yeah.
Out of the box features.
Yeah. And then we have the enhanced, and here you can see already something more. So if we have consistency in our project, this is checked by AI. So it checks if there are some issues. You can just click here and go to another screen when you can solve the issues. I will show it in a second during the presentation. And the same for this. Yeah. So the quality of project artifacts, if you are in a heavy regulated industry or working for a heavily regulated industry, most probably these are the quality metrics that you need to show all the time. So you have them up to date with one click. Of course, it doesn't mean that if you will plug in the AI assistant for project managers in your company, they will start like, fly with quality and the consistency engine will be 100% all the time. Because with our AI solutions, we are actually pointing to the issues that organization has. But issues recognized are better than thinking, yeah, well, the quality is not so great with this project, but we don't have time to fix it. With this dashboard, you can very clearly decide what is worth, what is not worth your time at the moment. Yeah. And here, this is the summary of the last meeting, but I would like to show you like the full version. So let's start the meeting. This will work in a way that assistant will plug into any meeting you have. It doesn't mean that you need to enter the meeting via the web app, not at all. Let's say that the meeting was done. And this is the draft of the minutes of meetings. So it's auto-generated based on the prompts that are worked during the integration with AI Assistant. You don't have to go anywhere and, drop the text. The notes are here. You can edit them. You can input something on your own. Why we gave this possibility? Because many times after the meeting, you have like, oh yeah, this is related with this and this and this and that. So you can just put it here as additional notes, or we can also add some comments, and engine will already know that more context arrived and it needs to process it with the context here, the basic one.
So we've seen so far a couple of features that are also present in other tools, like integrations with different elements of Office 365 environment. We've just seen meeting minutes preparation. It already requires some prompting if you use other tools. Well, you can use Copilot in Microsoft Teams and you will get also meeting minutes. But now we are starting revealing the real power of this tool. So this is yet another feature that is actually based on the transcript from the meeting. Ola, can you walk us through this feature?
What you see here are all gaps and inconsistencies that need your attention as a project manager. If we think about it, let's think that we've been in a long meeting. It was a big planning, something like that. Yeah, of course, you will not get so many things after the daily hopefully. We see the decisions discussed not reflected in tasks, because the AI assistant already knows, hey, we don't have it actually in Jira. I don't see it anywhere. Some follow-ups were mentioned, not scheduled. Investigation task was not created. These are all the things that project managers have tons of small tasks and observations that are nowhere to be found. And you can find it here.
Before we go further, we may simply say that, well, the good project manager should be able to detect all those alerts, red flags, missing items during the meeting, and this person should ask additional questions to the team. But if we do not have such a well-educated, well-experienced project manager, this feature may work as a coach for project manager, right? So after the meeting, this tool highlights certain elements that requires attention of project manager, and he or she may do a follow-up after the meeting using asynchronous communication, or during next meeting, right? The additional questions may be asked. There are several ways of correcting those missing elements, but you also have another feature for corrections.
That's correct, but just one comment here. Project managers are always said to be prolonging meetings because we are asking additional questions and stuff like this. And sometimes we need to do that. I totally agree, but sometimes it's not the place. What I would do normally, I would take a note in my head and try to come back to it after the meeting and discuss with this person separately or with a smaller team. So here we can also treat it as not only coach, but also like my other hand. So depending on the experience, the project manager can use it, how they need it also. So this is the beauty of the solution, I would say, And here we go to the proposed corrections, because the AI assistant told you everything that was visible in the meeting. You go through it. This is what you need to do, review and approve, because sometimes you want some tasks to happen, sometimes not, because maybe there was a slip or any other thing happened in between.
So you are saying that this AI tool detects problems, suggests way to correct those problems, and it even can create tasks in systems like Jira, for example. So other people may simply respond to a task by closing this task and providing the information required in the task. And this closes the gap that was revealed during such meetings like dailies, for example.
Yeah, that's correct. There is a lot of screens with the corrections, summaries, etc. because still human in the loop, it's our standard for AI solutions. So with this, we want to show that the project manager is still in charge. And this is the biggest screen of possible actions, because here, meeting follow-ups, you can already edit what assistant proposed. And what's more important, the assistant thought about some people that are usually on this meeting. So maybe you want to add those people because they've been not mentioned. It's just like this additional layer of analyzing that AI gives us.
So what we are showing here, Ola, basically, in the previous screens, we've just seen simple tasks that have been added to the task management tools. But here is the screen for more sophisticated actions. You may need to meet someone, you may send an email or do some other communications. And this tool is taking the context of the entire project, the context of the meeting, and also some other elements that make good proposals for project managers. So he or she may, in many cases, simply say, okay, I accept it, go ahead, send the invitation or send an email. Or this person, the project manager, may edit and introduce some adjustments to the proposal given by AI assistant.
Yeah, that's correct.
Very nice.
It also can give you the possibility to generate the presentation. Here is a button to just send all the communication. And here you, of course, have a summary. And this is the summary of the meeting that you could also see at the beginning, but it was from another project. This is what you always have for each meeting. Yeah, you just come here and check the meeting from last week. You can check if you sent something or not, stuff like this. Yeah. What I think when I present this every time is that we need to learn how to work with AI assistants. Because if you, for example, use the MS Facilitator, it is not really giving so great summaries. This is my impression, and I've been testing it for such a long time right now. And here, the main idea was that the AI assistant needs to learn you, but you also need to learn how to work with it. You will see how good and clean your communication is. We even do it already because during the meeting, sometimes we say, yeah, this is for the record because I want to have it in the transcript later so I can do a note of it. But here you can actually say, we need to send a follow-up for these people, and that would be it.
And it will appear as an action, right? In the summary, in the PM assistant. Very nice. Can you talk a little bit more about benefits for project managers and for the organizations when they start using this tool?
What we will get is more time. Sometimes you don't have time for the most important parts, like talking with your teammates, just normally. We are working remotely most of the times. And when you work remotely, you would rather just, close all your tasks because there are so many of them. And here you can have additional time to just chat with the team. It's super important. You can actually work on this relationship level that is super important for project managers, because every project manager is not only responsible for having all the project artifacts done, he or she is responsible for making the project work, for delivering the project, for making the impact with the project that we are delivering, yeah? For project managers, and I always say it, with AI solutions, if you are already have great experience, you really like your job, this will be just an accelerator for you. You will know how to use it wisely. But on the other hand, if you are not really there in this work, let's say you don't feel it, then it would be just another tool to use. I'm not changing the notes. Why should I? AI did it and it's bad. I don't want to use it. And for the organizations, they can see and help the best players they have, because they need this help. Because with this help, they can make more impact. Yeah, that's it, I think. You will get more time and more support for your people. Yeah.
So when I think about the tool and everything that you've just shown us, for those project managers that are not so great, this can be a very good coach how to improve their work, right? How to react better during the meetings with the team. So the numbers of those elements that require connection will be reduced over time, right? Because this project manager will receive very nice feedback right after the meeting. On the other hand, those who are great project managers will have, as you said, the great helper that will speed up their work and eliminate or reduce a lot of administrative work. Good. Ola, thank you very much for showing us this tool, and thank you for bringing this concept to Clouds on Mars and to our customers. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you have any challenge or if you have an idea that you would like to iterate with us, or maybe do something that I've recently started calling rapid prototyping, so very intense work that is done in a very short time with a low risk but bringing a lot of value, contact us. We will be happy to help. You can contact either Ola or myself. You have our LinkedIn profiles here on the screen, and you can also follow us on YouTube, or you can follow us on LinkedIn, us as Clouds on Mars. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.